Alright folks, so today we're taking a look at a phone that's been generating some buzz, the i23 Ultra. Now, the name might sound familiar, and you'd be right to think so. It's clearly inspired by a certain flagship device, but this one comes with a much friendlier price tag. The big question is, does it deliver? Let's dive in. First impressions? It's surprisingly sleek. The purple color of this particular model, officially called Purple D, is quite striking. The phone feels reasonably solid in the hand, though the materials definitely hint at its budget-friendly nature. We're dealing with a 6.03-inch screen, which is a good size for media consumption and gaming. The resolution is listed as 1440 by 3040, promising crisp visuals. We'll have to test that out in a bit. Now, let's talk about the operating system. It's running Android, which is great for customization and app availability. However, the listing doesn't specify which version, which is a little concerning. Hopefully, it's not running something drastically outdated. One of the more intriguing specs is the 13 gigabytes of storage. That's an unusual number, and honestly, a little hard to believe at this price point. We'll definitely be putting that to the test by loading it up with apps and media. The i23 Ultra is advertised as unlocked for all carriers, which is a major plus for flexibility. You can pop in your SIM card and get going without being tied to a specific network. This is a huge advantage for travelers or those who like to switch carriers for better deals. Let's get into some real-world usage. The screen, while boasting a high resolution, doesn't seem quite as vibrant as some other phones in this price range. The colors are a little washed out, and the viewing angles aren't the best. Performance-wise, it's a mixed bag. Basic tasks like web browsing and social media are handled reasonably well, but anything more demanding, like gaming or multitasking, starts to show some lag. That 13 gigabytes of storage, if it's truly there, hasn't translated into blazing fast speeds. The camera is decent. It takes acceptable photos in good lighting, but struggles in low-light conditions. Don't expect flagship-level image quality here. Battery life seems average, lasting through a day of moderate use. One thing that's worth noting is the brand, BVNA. It's not a name I'm familiar with, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. There are plenty of lesser-known brands putting out decent phones these days. However, it does mean there's less of a track record to go on in terms of software updates and customer support. So, the final verdict? The i23 Ultra is a budget phone with some intriguing specs on paper. However, the real-world performance doesn't quite live up to the hype. The screen is a bit underwhelming, performance can be sluggish, and the camera is just okay. If you're on an extremely tight budget and prioritize storage, this might be worth considering. But for a little more money, you can definitely find phones with better overall performance and features. Don't let the Ultra moniker fool you. This phone is far from a flagship experience. Be sure to do your research and compare it to other options in this price range before making a decision.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.